Babies. Mwah. Hi, babies. Mwah. Okay, so today we're going to talk about being a parent, being a friend, being a lover, being anybody that when you're loving somebody and holding space for them or helping them, right? I want you to take what I'm about to say and apply this, including yourself. Okay, so I was watching Pose last night, and Electra said something to Blanca that really just had my mind being like, yes. And I want to expand on it. Now, I'm not saying we should take a lot of parenting advice from Electra, but I mean, even a broke clock is right twice a day. She said if you're not raising them to be strong enough to rebel against you, to reject you, to move away, then you're not raising men and women, people. You're essentially creating parasites. And I was like, ooh, I felt that right here. Okay, okay. And I just want to expand on that because I think a lot of younger Gen Xers and millennials might be on that precipice of kind of having that realization of like, I may not have done everything correctly, whether it be in their parenting or their interpersonal relationships, etc. Even in work, like you can apply that to work where like if you create a well, we're not gonna dive into that. Back to the task at hand as a parent. I think that millennials and obviously I'm talking about elder millennials and younger Gen Xers, when we became parents, our goal on the forefront of our mind was essentially trying to make the youth feel safe. And I think that was really the goal in like how we wanted to parent. We didn't want them to be bullied. We didn't want to essentially accept bullying for them. We didn't want to be like, oh, that's how the world works, because we remembered how that felt when those things were said to us. And that goes along with like households, right? Like households, we didn't say the same things that were said to us, and we didn't do the same things that were done to us, because again, we were trying to foster safety in the relationship and connection with our children. But how do you create and foster safety when you have never experienced it yourself, nor really did the spiritual dive into what safety feels like, means, and is for you and other people? So give yourself grace because you didn't understand. And I think a lot of us mistook comfort for safety. And again, that was because as children, we often created comfort for the adults in our life, right? We try not to make too much of a ruckus. We try to, if they said that's how the world was and this is just how we needed to do it, we kind of just tucked our head down and tried to do it the way we were taught to do it for the most part until we became old enough to make change. So that's how you take something like a generational curse or whatever, and you don't break it necessarily, but you transmute it into a different thing. So we were trying to essentially reparent ourselves through our children and provide safety, but what we ultimately did was provide comfort, and comfort can lead to stagnancy. Now, I'm not saying I have all the answers. Don't come to me like, well, okay, so I'm just supposed to throw my kid out on the street. No, I am never saying that. This is not the place for that. What I am saying to you is it is part of evolution, growth, healing, the human journey in itself to have discomfort. And if you are blocking your children from feeling discomfort, you're not creating a safe environment necessarily. What you're doing is creating parasites where it's your job to fix their environment, their life, their journey to limit discomfort. It almost sounds like the relationship that most younger Gen X and elder millennials have with their parents. But, talk to your therapist about that. Now, if you're a boomer, don't jump in my comments talking that weird shit like, see, yeah, that's why we did what we did. We weren't trying to, block your discomfort. Shut the fuck up. It's not the same thing because, again, none of your children felt safe. I'm saying our children may have felt safe, but they also didn't know how to process discomfort because as parents, you will take that guilt on. Well, that feeling on. So today, for your full moon, if you feel like it, I implore you to think about all of the relationships where you thought you were providing safety to a loved one and instead you were just trying to make sure they were comfortable. And then dive into how can you make yourself feel safe? Because learning how to make yourself feel safe is the gateway to understanding the difference in the two in your interpersonal relationships. Okay, love y'all. If you got any comments or if you got any questions, comment below. Do me a favor, give me a like or a follow. Mwah.